Alrighty, my friends. So tonight we're going to be talking about types of lines, and there's really only three types of lines. I believe that you've seen them before, but they are parallel lines, perpendicular lines, and intersecting lines. So I'm going to draw a little something. So I want you to do it with me. So we're going to draw a line like this, dot, dot, A and B, okay? And then we're going to go from here to here. And we're going to say C and D, okay? It's a little bit bright. Hold on, guys. It's probably better. Okay, and then we're going to go one like this, and we're going to say E, F, and then we're going to say right here G and H. Okay? All right, so let's talk about some different situations that are happening on these lines, okay? I see parallel lines, I see perpendicular lines, I see intersecting lines. So let's talk about what all those mean. So the first type of line I want to talk about is parallel lines. P-A-R-A-L-L-E-L. And you can remember because these two L's are parallel to each other, right? So parallel lines are lines that never cross. So they're going to be side by side. They're both going the same direction. So they're, in this case, it's going to be here, and those are all, those are both going the same direction, right? So we talk about, what makes a parallel line. So if these two lines extended all the way, let's say they're going all the way down here, all the way down. Let's say they extended forever. They are never, ever, ever, ever going to intersect, okay? I want you to think about that. Parallel lines never intersect. So if you can extend lines and you can see that they are, you can see that they're eventually going to come together, well, that's not going to work, right? That's not a parallel line then. So parallel lines, let's write a definition for them. It says that, so we're going to write that parallel lines are lines in a plane that always are always the same distance apart. Lines that are always, let's underline this, the same distance apart. Okay? They never intersect. Okay? Never intersect. Okay? So can you find two parallel lines that you think are on this diagram that we did? What do you think? Maybe line CD and line GH? What do you think? I think so. So the way that we write this is like this. So we would say CD, line CD. Remember how we write a line with a line on top? CD, and then we do two lines like this, parallel, just like those two L's right there, to GH, line GH. Okay, that's how you write this. Okay, so I'm going to do a blue line here and a blue line here just so you can see that more easily. Okay, so the next type of line we're going to talk about is called perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines, okay? So perpendicular lines are the exact opposite of parallel lines, I feel like, because perpendicular lines are lines in a plane that intersect to form four right angles. So Let's write this right here. So we're going to write a little bit smaller. We're going to run out of room. Perpendicular. Okay, so they do intersect. Okay, these never intersect. Parallel lines never intersect, no matter how far you extend them, no matter how far they go down, they're never going to come together. They're always going to be the same distance apart. So perpendicular, though, means that they intersect to form right angles. Lines that intersect to form four right angles. Okay? Lines that intersect to form four right angles. Do you see any perpendicular line segments? Lines going on up here. Anything? Anything? Oh no. Hope you've been able to hear me so far. We'll finish out the video and see what happens. Okay, so perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form four right angles. I see two lines that intersect to form right angles. I actually see a couple of intersecting lines. I see these two lines intersect right here. I also see that these lines intersect here and these intersect here. How do I know the difference between a line that's just intersecting and a line that's perpendicular? Well, the difference is that perpendicular lines form four right angles. So I want you to look at the corner of your journal. Let's look like right here. This is a right angle. Anytime you have a corner like this, like on a rectangle or a square, it's a right angle. It means that it's equal to 90 degrees. And we'll talk more about that next week as the week goes on. So this is a right angle. So if it forms a right angle like this, like look, does this form a right angle? Look right here. This would be considered the right angle. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Do you see the four right angles happening there? So if we didn't see any of this, so that right there is a right angle. It's just like the corner of a rectangle. It's just like the corner of your journal. So anytime you see a right angle like this, and a good trick is to whatever paper you have, put it up to, it's too long, hold on. Put it up to this like this, up to the angle and see if it's equal. Look at that. If the corner of your paper goes exactly with that angle right there, that means it's equal to 90 degrees. Okay? So do you see any more parallel lines? Perpendicular lines? What about right here? Let's check it with the paper. Oh, look at that. Fits exactly. All right, well, what about this guy right here? Is he perpendicular? No, because look, if I put my paper here, oh, it's kind of hard to see. Let's get a colored paper. Actually, let's just see if you can see this a little bit better. No. All right, Miss Hargrove, get a piece of colored paper. Okay, here we go. If I put paper like here, right like this, do you see how this line does not line up with the side of my paper right here? That means it's not perpendicular. Because if it opens wide like this, remember we talked about today how, obtuse lines, obtuse angles, they're obtuse, right? It's just like a hippo's mouth. So that cannot be a perpendicular line because it doesn't form any right angles. And remember, perpendicular lines form how many right angles? 4 right angles, okay? All right, let's get that out of here. Okay, so the last kind of line is something called intersecting line. So anything that's not parallel or perpendicular is going to be intersecting, okay? So intersecting. Oh, we didn't write our parallel lines. Hold the phone, everybody. Okay, so, our perpendicular lines. So this is how you write lines that are perpendicular to each other. So we would say line AB is perpendicular to line CD, right? So I'm actually going to write it this way because I ran out of room. So line AB, and this is how you write perpendicular, just like this. It's like an upside down capital T. Perpendicular to excuse me, I sneeze, to line CD. Okay, that's how you write that. So let's put a little bubble around that. Okay, anyway, intersecting lines. Intersecting lines, underline it, are lines in a plane that cross exactly at one point, okay? They form 4 angles. Does it say 4 right angles? Nope, just 4 angles. So lines that intersect, lines that cross, oops, sorry, that's kind of close together. Lines that cross at exactly one point, and we're going to do a little semicolon, then we're going to say form 4 angles. And it's always going to form 2 obtuse angles and 2 acute angles. Okay? So I'll let you finish copying that in 1 second, but up here you can see that this right here, line EF, crosses, intersects at this point right here. Okay? So line EF and AB intersect. Okay? There's not a symbol for that. We just say that they intersect. All right? So here would be our 2 obtuse angles. And then here would be our acute angles. All righty. Thanks, guys. See you